follow-up. Was it yesterday or the other day, the House also alleges that over 400 names na nag-cite with acknowledgement receipts. Again, on the issue of the confidential funds, wala daw pong records at the DSA. Ma'am, you could offer an explanation because we know that this is a legal proceeding, pero pinag-uusapan po siya ngayon, ma'am, sa bahay ng bawat Pilipino. Kaya explanation if this is above board or bakit wala silang birth certificate, ma'am?
No, I will not explain. I will not give an explanation because it will entail that I explain intelligence operations which will compromise officers who do intelligence operations. It will really compromise how they work. So no explanation will be given to the members of the House of Representatives.
One final follow-up for me, ma'am. Then what's your response to accusations that an office like the DepEd and the OVP have no jurisdiction naman to have these confidential funds that are spent for national security?
Well, the confidential funds was the first transfer of confidential funds was from the office, from the contingent funds to the office of the Vice President. And this was approved by the office of the President. The next year, confidential funds was 2023. We submitted it to the Department of Budget and Management. It was approved by the Department of Budget and Management, and therefore it implies that it was approved by the Office of the President because it was included in the National Expenditure Program, the NEP. So, and then it was approved by Congress as well. The only reason why we did not use the confidential funds in the fourth quarter for both offices because I was already flagged by a friend inside the House of Representatives that they will attack you using confidential funds. So yes, it was duly approved by the Office of the President and both houses of Congress as well as because it was included in the General Appropriations Act. So it was not, we presented it, we defended it, they approved it. We used it, and then the question on utilization is under the Commission on Audit. That is how the system works. They cannot use or they cannot twist the system according to their personal interests. Really, all these circumstances and events happening surrounding the office of the Vice President is a race to the presidential election in 2028. Unfortunately, they are attacking the office as well. So, dyan ako medyo, and the personnel of the office of the Vice President. So, dyan ako medyo pumapalag. Wala namang problema kung atakihin ninyo ako. Kasi politiko naman talaga ako. Pero may problema ako pag inatake yung opisina at yung mga kasamahan ko dito sa opisina ng pangalawang Pangulo na nagtatrabaho lang.
Good afternoon, Madam. Good afternoon, Madam Vice President. I'm just going to pick up on Mara's line of questioning. You said, and I understand your explanation about these confidential funds having been approved by several layers in the government. But maybe, just to go back to the basics, if you can explain to ordinary Filipinos why the Office of the Vice President needs confidential intelligence funds.
Okay. Yes. For the Office of the Vice President, it's not the first time that the office was granted confidential funds. During the time of Vice President Binay, the office was already given confidential funds. The confidential funds we use in relation to our work and national security. All the projects and the programs of the Office of the Vice President target poverty alleviation, there is a direct correlation between poverty and national security. So what we do is we want to target the areas where we put our projects so that we achieve peace and order, security. So we don't want to our projects put in areas where it is not needed for poverty alleviation. So we want to prioritize the areas. And the only way to do that is to use confidential funds to purchase information. So where are the target areas? We need that so that our projects will serve these areas. So that's why we needed the confidential funds. In the Department of Education, there is a correlation as well of the education and national security. In fact, that is one of there is a correlation as well of education and national security. There are so many threats to education, not just insurgency, and threats to Department of Education personnel and students as well. And we wanted to target projects of the Department of Education as well in the most vulnerable areas and schools. That is why we needed confidential funds. It's all about national security. And the position of the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education is that the national security is a holistic concept. It's not just one, like territorial defense, sovereignty. No, national security is about food security. It's about quality of education. It's about poverty alleviation and everything else that we need to do as a country to get us out of this poverty rut.
But you are in the NTF-LCAP, so couldn't have your offices work with the NTF-LCAP as well as other government agencies that actually have national security mandates?
In the NTF-LCAP, they are only about ano yung meaning ng LCAP? And local armed conflict.
And local communist armed conflict.
And local, there, LCAP. So that is very specific to that local conflict and communism. So as I said, the projects and the programs of OVP target poverty alleviation, and there's so many factors affecting poverty. And there are so many threats to education, not just insurgency.
But there are also other government agencies with national security mandates that you can work with, your offices can work with.
Yes, that is true, but we work far faster if we are allowed to purchase information and target our projects immediately on the certain school or certain barangay or certain municipality. We move faster if we can target our projects.